Take two. Hi, welcome to the Stoppage Time Stooges podcast. This is the second time we're attempting to record this intro, but it's your guy Andrew with my boys Christian, Ricardo, and Jacob. Jacob, are you still feeling swell? That's what you said the first take.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very convincing.
No, but he said he's swell. That's the most important thing in life. That you're swell, right? Okay, fine. They're giving me weird looks, but I'll take that as they agree. Boys, we got a mega episode today. We're going to be taking a little break until after the Champions League final is concluded. So we're going to do an ultimate preview episode. So we're going to talk Championship Sunday in the Premier League that's coming up. We're going to talk that very Champions League final that we talked a little bit about last week, Ricardo and I, but now we have all four of us here. Get deeper into that. Talk a little Europa League final, and then we'll get into our best bets for the week. But I figure, boys, I mean, we're so packed today. Let's just get right in. I mean, the Champions League final is coming up Saturday, June 1st. Borussia Dortmund versus our Real Madrid at Wembley Stadium. Hey, Jude, the homecoming. He's got to have some contribution in this match, homecoming against his former team. I mean, it's set up perfectly for Jude. But boys, how are we feeling about this matchup?
I think Ricardo's the only person to start with here.
Well, it doesn't have to be me, but
hey, you know what? You have importance as a fan.
Yeah.
I
I
want someone else to take the spotlight from me right now.
All right, fine. You can chime in after me then. How do I feel about it? Probably. I mean, if I'm comparing other Champions League finals, this is probably the most confident I've felt in Real Madrid, which I don't like that because that usually comes to bite me in the butt. So, the thing that I'm kind of looking for the most, I guess, is Dortmund's counterattack, which, I mean, they have a lot of pace. Adeyemi's huge and then leading the counter charge. So I think it's going to be it's so interesting to me because Dortmund actually does defend well in the Champions League. Bundesliga, different story. The yellow wall, I mean, it really does stand out in the Champions League. Their defensive effort is, I mean, incredible. Mats Hummels leading that back line has been a huge reason they're even in this position. So breaking them down is not going to be easy. I think it's definitely going to be a challenge just overall. Maybe it'll be a bit more even, or it could, but honestly, I think it'll be more Real having possession. And Andrew, I know we talked about how this isn't exactly a home game. Obviously, it's a neutral site. So if maybe that plays a factor in Real Madrid, kind of how they possess and how they play the game. But this is really Real has to take the game to Dortmund. They have to challenge them, and they have to get up on them early, I think. And because the one thing I will say, the thing that worries me is that in the first 10, 15 minutes, Real Madrid usually tries to feel the other team out. That's just been the case, I mean, throughout the season. Barca, I mean, they got scored on early. There have been a few occasions where, I mean, Man City, for example, first leg. Bayern as well. Like just getting or conceding early. That's been kind of an Achilles heel, I guess, for Real Madrid. So they really got to start out on the strong foot, I guess. But I'm feeling confident that they can do that.
I'll just go second here. Ricardo, he could not have said it any better. I am so worried about this Champions League final, mainly because I am so not worried about Borussia Dortmund. We've doubted them all Champions League, back to the group stage, and somehow they keep advancing. How are they doing it? And they're going to keep going. I'm worried that streak is going to continue into this final. I don't think it's luck. Come on now. You're in a Champions League final.
Look
at that bracket.
For the group, and that would have been it.
I don't care. They got through. They got I don't care. They went
They beat
through.
everyone.
They
What
went
matters?
through. They still had to finish the job, and they did it. It's hard to get to a Champions League final, no matter the opponents. No matter the opponent. Come on. This is unfair.
Not when half the bracket is a joke.
They're still like
they
European
still got
powerhouses. We're talking Atletico, PSG. Like those aren't pushovers.
Come on now.
Ricardo, this PSG team is the weakest PSG team based off roster.
They still beat Atletico, who
Oh, hold on. But
plays Real
I
Madrid.
also don't care. They have the best player in the world in Kylian Mbappe. What happened? He was non-existent in both legs.
He was not only non-existent in the reverse leg, he was nowhere to be found for 180 minutes, and that is all credit to Dortmund defending him well.
Yellow wall.
It's not luck. Not
It's
at
only
all.
a small bit of it. That's it.
Sure.
Insane disrespect to Borussia Dortmund and all that they have accomplished.
I'm quadrupling down.
Wow.
The post is the only luck they had. All right.
I mean, if you've been
Maybe like
watching
6 times, but
I mean, just the cohesiveness, Jadon Sancho fitting in. Well, I mean, Julian Brandt has been playing well in the midfield. Ian Maatsen has solved their left back issues. Jacob, your guy.
He was never my guy. He just played for my club.
Your guy. So, it's very impressive. It's an impressive run, and that's what worries me. That's the only thing that worries me this Champions League final is that aspect. I think Real Madrid totally outclasses them, just with quality and coaching. I think even Terzic's a fraud, but I mean, you can't discredit the fact that they're in a Champions League final, and Real Madrid still has to show up. They can't just take the day or night off. So until I see them go in front of a lead, I'm gonna be worried. So yeah, you can't let Dortmund score first. You can't. Ricardo talking about the first 15, 20 minutes, perfect. If Dortmund scores in those first 15, 20 minutes and they just park the bus, it's going to be very hard for Real Madrid. We'll give score predictions and X factors after everyone talks, but I think a little preview. I think this will be a low scoring final. I don't think you're going to see a lot of fireworks.
Feels like every final is low scoring. At least every Champions League last couple of seasons.
True. But there won't be a Rodri this year, so that's fine. Christian, Jacob, who wants to take the helm?
I can go first. I think you guys touched on a lot of the important things when it comes to Real Madrid's point of view. To me, as a neutral, I'm just excited for the storylines. Jude versus former team. Marco Reus's last match for Borussia Dortmund at 12 years. Just an incredible career, and he gets to end it in a European final after losing it in 2013. And by the way, that 2013 final was at Wembley. So Dortmund's redemption, or that's what they're looking for at least, is, I mean, that's just so, there's so much in that to me that makes this game so interesting. Sure, it's not two evenly matched teams on paper, but I think it's going to make for a great final. I really do believe that, because I think Dortmund's going to be up for a fight. Andrew, you mentioned their league form. I mean, they've been really bad in the Bundesliga, but for some reason they've been able to turn up in every single event and little moment in this tournament, and that's why they're here. So I think Dortmund's going to be there throughout this match. I expect it to be low scoring as well. I also just think there's going to be a lot of drama, big chances, but I think there's going to be key saves, and we'll touch on the goalkeeper situation. That is the biggest thing to me, which we got some initial reactions once that was put in the group chat. Yeah. There's just so much in this match, and, it's not Real Madrid versus PSG and Mbappe versus what appears to be his next club. But, I mean, this is going to be a really good final in a location where I think both fan bases will show up. So I think it's going to be a very good match, and I'm really excited to see how Jude Bellingham performs against his former team for the first time.
real quick. I'm sorry, Jacob. We got to touch on the goalkeeper thing real quick. Ricardo and I talked about this last week. Worrying that if Courtois was saying he was fit, we were worried that Carlo was going to go ahead and say, Thibaut, you're going to start. And Ricardo and I both agreed. I mean, it's insane for Carlo to do that. Insane. And now that became official, or at least it's being reported by Fab, at least this past week, that Carlo plans to do that over Andre Lunin, who should be starting this Champions League final after, leading the charge and that this whole time. So Ricardo, I mean, you're looking disgusted. You look disappointed. I don't have enough adjectives. I mean, can you put into words how you feel about this?
I'm trying not to get upset about it, but I mean, you've laid it out. I mean, Lunin has led the charge this entire way. And listen, I love Courtois and all. He had his moment against Liverpool. Sorry, Christian, but this is Lunin's time. And I think this just has massive implications for his future too, because I believe he's a free agent after next season.
Yeah.
So, and then there's talk about, wanting to extend his contract. But to me, I'm sorry, but if you're planning on starting Courtois, even though he's been injured for months, and I know he's played like 3 games and had clean sheets and all, that's fine. But he wasn't there leading the way in the Champions League. It was Lunin. He was doing it all. And I texted you guys this too. I was like, he's the reason we're even in this spot against Leipzig. So many saves that first leg, second leg, you could say as well. I mean, that game the first leg especially, we should have lost. If it wasn't for him and I guess Brahim's amazing solo goal. But and then against Man City, the penalties, I mean, they just came up huge. The Bernardo Silva one was obviously the biggest of them all, but
thank you, Kepa.
This just feels like a betrayal. If I'm Lunin right now, it feels like a betrayal. It's and also if it does happen this way where Courtois does start, if I'm Lunin, I'm out. I'm sorry, but he's shown everything possible to be an important part of this team. Let me walk. He's shown enough to just teams around the world. He can be a true number one. And honestly, we don't deserve him because, I mean, if we play Courtois, because he's done everything. I don't know what more he has to do to prove himself. So
he's still so young. I think he's like 26, 25. So I mean, he's gonna have an opportunity. But here's the thing: one small mistake from Courtois, and everyone is turning on Carlo. That's what worries me.
I see it the other way. Well, it's because I think because Courtois, everyone knows how good Courtois is, and I mean, let's say it's the other way. It's Lunin who makes a mistake. People are gonna. I feel like
no matter what happens, and if a goalkeeper mistake comes from Real Madrid in this match, there's going to be criticism coming.
I think it was heavier on Lunin's side, though.
Really, I think if the Courtois thing, he's been hurt for months. He's been hurt for months. I think people would understand.
Is my point. Courtois has proven himself for many seasons. Lunin has not, because he hasn't gotten the opportunity. So that's kind of why I believe he would get more criticism than Courtois would. But that's just my opinion.
That's interesting. I don't know. Jacob.
I think you guys are overreacting.
No, we're not.
Yeah, I mean, if this was like, hey, I'm going to Kepa, I would understand why you think it's World War III. That would be awful.
Well, hey, they wouldn't be here without Kepa.
That's true, but don't change
great
the
teammate.
narrative. He's a great teammate. He's not the best at stopping the ball.
Great teammate.
I mean, I get it, and everything you guys said about Lunin is fair and it's true. But I mean, it is Thibaut Courtois we're talking about here. This isn't like some Joe Schmo bum. This is like one of the best goalies in the world. I know he's been hurt, but I mean, Don't you trust him?
Of course I do, but I don't. He's coming back from 2 successive lower body injuries, and you're bringing him back in a Champions League final.
I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I trust Carlo Ancelotti a lot, so I think you should too.
See, this is where I'll say listen, Carlo, as we said, Andrew, last week, like I trust him with man management. He's arguably the best in the sport. So whatever he ends up deciding, I am going to end up trusting him. But to me, again, it just feels like a betrayal to Lunin. So,
yeah. Jacob, what are your overall thoughts on the match, other than the goalkeeping situation, which Ricardo and I may or may not be overreacting to?
I think the word betrayal is a little much. I mean, betrayal.
It is, dude.
It is. It is.
He's been the goalie the entire way.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Yeah, but he knows what his role is. He knows that he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Courtois getting hurt in the first place.
He's the person who brought
took advantage of the opportunity.
No, I understand that, but
of course, come next season, of course, Courtois is starting over him. That's not what I'm saying at all. He's the guy who took you to this point. Here's a good way to compare it: basketball, way lower level.
I'm gonna go Brady Bledsoe. I was about to lose my mind.
No, not Brady Bledsoe. Come on, because this is a case where I'm starting Drew Bledsoe back next season. No, when. You're gonna hate this. When Mitchell Robinson came back, when Mitchell Robinson came back, he was coming off the bench. You know why? Because Isaiah Hartenstein proved himself, at least this year, that he could work well with the Knicks starters, and he's been playing well enough where he deserved that starting spot.
No, he proved that he was better, Andrew.
At least for this stretch. I don't know about that. And when Mitch is fully healthy, I think.
When was that? When was the last time that happened?
This is not a Knicks talk.
Last year.
Don't get me riled up on
but
this.
But I'm saying it's a similar situation. Not
that is
of
so
course
disrespectful.
Way different levels.
Holy God!
I said way different levels. I did say way different levels. But I'm trying to put in a way that you could somewhat understand, and you don't understand. So
he understands. Didn't want to understand.
Right. It's hard to accept the truth. I know, but it's okay.
Okay, that's a great spin. But go on.
So, no, but yeah, it's absolutely a betrayal. I mean, absolutely.
I get why you guys are upset, and again, if I was Carlo Ancelotti in this situation, I would be a bit hesitant to just willy nilly take Lunin out when he's gotten you to this point. And I probably stick with Lunin too. I mean, they're playing Dortmund. They're not playing Manchester City. So I don't think it's that kind of a risk. You're right. Courtois has been out a while. They were serious injuries. But I just don't think it's going to be, if it happens, I don't think it's going to come back to bite them. It could. I could be very wrong. I don't think it's as much of a Hail Mary as you guys think it is. I just don't, because I think that when you have Courtois' pedigree, when you have Courtois' big game ability that he's shown at multiple big clubs and at the international level, you sort of have to think, you know what, he's probably going to be fine. And if it's one thing if you're worried about his health, that I would understand.
Well, that's my entire point.
It's about health or rust.
It's both. I'm not bringing him back for one match in a Champions League final.
But how many matches he's played? How many matches?
Three.
He's played 3. He's had a clean sheet in all 3 against crap teams.
Yeah.
So that was actually even
all below the top 10. In La Liga?
I'll pull it up. I believe it was Granada, Deportivo Alves, and Cadiz. I think it was the other one.
Yeah, they're not good either.
But regardless, these are not the giants in Spain.
Obviously.
No. Here's my counterpoint. If it's not that big of a deal between the two, then why don't you start Lunin?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
It would clearly mean more if they started Lunin in this situation over Courtois.
I don't know. I'm not in Carlos' head. I really can't answer
That's
that
a good
question.
point.
It's a very fair point. It's just I don't know why. My whole thing is that if he feels strongly that Courtois is the guy, then you're gonna have to live with it. I mean, doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean that it's a sound decision. Doesn't mean it makes a hell of a lot of sense. It just means that's what he's gonna do. I mean, again, I wouldn't do it, but I'm not Carlo Ancelotti. I haven't won multiple Champions Leagues at multiple clubs, so I'm sorry if I want to fall on the sword of the proven winner, but that's just me. This isn't like freaking Eric Ten Hag making this decision. This isn't like Greg Berhalter making this decision. This isn't Jesse Marsh making this decision.
And of course,
this is Carlo freaking Ancelotti.
I agree with that. Of course. Like Ricardo and I said last week, his feel for the game, his feel is probably the tops in the world.
Agree.
And I agree with that. I just think it's strange timing. And
you're
very
right
unfair
about that. I don't know why he has to announce it now. I would almost leave it up for open so that way Dortmund can get all concerned about who do we have to prepare for. But that's
fair because there are tactics teams use against Lunin.
Yeah.
So like that's a very good point.
I would have thought about
more specifically.
Yep.
But yeah.
But anyways,
they'll be fine.
Okay.
Wait, can I talk about this because I didn't really get.
I was just gonna ask you. Yeah.
Can I give a score? I know we haven't given scores yet.
Sure, you can be the first one.
And X Factor, give it to us.
3-1 Real Madrid. It's gonna be 3-1. Vinicius Jr. X Factor. Vinicius. I know we want to do the whole. It's Jude versus old team. It's Jude going back to England. I get it. That's too easy. Okay. And Vinicius Jr. always delivers when the lights are the brightest.
Yep.
And that is a sure thing, in my opinion. And I think he'll deliver again. Who's going to stop him? 85-year-old Mats Hummels? I mean, who the hell's going to stop him? No, I'm being Emre Can. I mean, really?
I mean, you said that we could say the same thing about Mbappe. Who did we think was going to stop him?
Mbappe doesn't have nearly as much help as Vinicius Jr.
Shut down by
has.
Schlotterbeck.
Vinny Jr. doesn't have to score all the goals for Real Madrid to win like Mbappe sort of had to.
I don't know.
That's not as true.
That's not fair.
I don't think Vinicius Jr. has as much pressure as Mbappe does for his team because I feel like Mbappe had to carry so much of a load on his shoulders.
I actually kind of agree with that.
That Vinicius just doesn't have to do because of the fact that he's on a much better team with much better supporting pieces.
Yep.
I don't know why this is so hard to understand. And which is, again...
He did have Dembele, but, you know.
All right, that's one guy. What about the midfield?
Just saying.
Oh, Vitinha? Oh.
I mean...
No one knew who that Vitinha played very well.
Oh, hold on. He was the one that knocked out your Champions League winner, Barcelona.
No, my Champions League winner, the real one, was Inter.
Wait, no. You pulled the Colin Coward and changed your mind because opinions can change.
Opinions can change. Circumstance changes everything. But anyway, yeah, I feel really. I just think Real Madrid's gonna win. I just don't think Dortmund can stop this team. I don't think Dortmund. I mean, I know they played some great teams in the Champions League. Atletico Madrid's not Real. PSG's not Real. I mean, they played who they play. Who's the Dutch team?
PSV.
My PSV.
Again, give me a break. So, I just feel very strongly that this is all Real. And I think Vinicius Jr. is going to deliver. I think he's going to have 2 goal contributions, a goal and assist, maybe 2 goals, maybe 2 assists. Whatever it is, he'll have made his mark on the game. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Dortmund, it was cute. It was a cute run. It's Oba.
I want to hear your apology to Eindhoven.
Absolutely.
He's never
Unreal. I can't believe it.
I mean, there's a better chance of me saying Mitchell Robinson is an All NBA player than me giving an apology to freaking Eindhoven.
Shout out to Malik Tillman, who officially got a permanent transfer there from Bayern. So congrats. Contract extension too.
Well, I wish him well because he's
congrats,
one of
my
us.
Americans.
He's one of us, but otherwise,
Dest is back to Barca. Christian, score, X Factor.
Okay, so I've made a theme of going for the underdog, and I'm gonna explain why I'm doing it again. Can you please put the standings up?
This is not Sociedad. I will give you that.
God, Champions League.
So as you can see, for those watching on YouTube, I'm currently behind by 4 points. I need not only a correct score, but I also need to get the team right. And my logic is I'm going to have to pick against everyone else. So do I believe Dortmund's going to win this game? No. But, I'm trying to, level.
For the sake of our game.
Nothing like going against your instincts.
If that is the case and Dortmund do win this match, I think the X factor to me is Mats Hummels. You talk about a player who I think should have been on the German squad going to the Euros. Very surprised by the news today that he was left off that squad, and Germany, for some odd reason, brought 4 goalkeepers.
That is funny squad.
He's not cool enough for a Nagelsmann.
No, he's too old. He's 85.
Doesn't wear flannels.
Doesn't wear the Shannon Sharp. Whatever that was.
But to just discuss Mats Hummels, I mean, you're going against 2 players with electrifying pace in Rodrigo and Vinicius. I think his positioning and his instincts in this match are going to have to be 100% at his best to me. Schlotterbeck is, a little quicker than him, but Hummels' ability to read the match is going to be extremely key if Dortmund want to survive these big waves of pressure from Real Madrid, which are going to be coming in both halves. I think if Dortmund's going to win this match, it's going to be down to their defense letting up at the most 1 goal. I think this match ends, if Dortmund wins, it's going to be a 2-1 win, and Mats Hummels needs to have one of his best matches of his career.
Ricardo. Actually, I'll let Ricardo go last here.
Okay.
I'll let Ricardo go last. I'm going to say Real Madrid 1-0. 1-0. And my X factor, Jacob's not going to believe this one.
Wait.
I think it's going to be 0-0 for a while.
Wait.
0-0 for a while.
I actually think I know it, and it's not at all who you think it is.
In the 70th minute, Luka Modric is going to come on.
That's not where I thought he was going.
Wow.
I thought you were going to say.
Not what I thought either. That's what I thought.
And Luka Modric is going to come up with the game-winning assist in his last dance with Real Madrid.
Before he goes to Chelsea.
Oh, that's funny.
Before he goes to Inter Miami. In his last dance with Real Madrid, he's going to come up with the game-winning assist.
I think I would cry. If he scored, I think I'd cry.
You want storylines? That's cinema.
I would cry. I genuinely would.
Luka Modric, Real Madrid, 1-0. Let's go.
Oh, I can't top that.
But who scores the goal?
Joselu.
No.
It's definitely gonna be like off.
An incredible story.
That's gonna happen. It's gonna be a cross. It's gonna go off of Hummel's head to Joselu's foot, and it's gonna go in the back of the head. And he's gonna do the whole.
There's no way.
I just created the cinematic Champions League final, so I don't know.
Or no, he's probably gonna be like barely onside.
VAR.
It's gonna go off the post.
It's gonna be called offsides first, but then they go to VAR.
Then Dortmund's gonna get robbed in the 90th.
Yeah.
I see it now. Oh God, I can't beat that. Oh man, I wish you would have gone last. I'm gonna say
you could still pick Joselu.
I was gonna say that as a joke, but you already took the joke, so Man, I was gonna say 1-2, but I can't do that because then, one
Yeah.
of them I need to overtake you. So I'm gonna say 2-1, Raul. X Factor. I'm gonna go with my last one for the semis. I'm going to Rodrigo again. He should have scored last time out, but I don't know how the hell he missed. Anyway, I think he's also one of those players that it's just really it shows up big in the brightest moments. I will always think about City, not this year, but 2 years ago, in that those 2 goals he scored in stoppage time. I mean, I just think he's going to be decisive again, and then he's going to be the key moment, either assist or goal. I think he's going to provide it. So I'm going Rodrigo.
2-1 Real Madrid. You said right?
Yeah,
2-1. Here's the other aspect of my Luka Modric thing. It's going to be the handoff of the 10, because it's going to go to Mbappe. So Luka's
not
gonna. It's not even a guarantee he's gonna be on the squad next year. Although I think what's his buy clause? I think they said his buy clause is like only like €2 million.
It's a lot of player.
It's insane. It's insane how small it is. So I think they're doing it, but no, so three of us picked Real Madrid, and Christian, for the sake
of being the lone wolf
of our points system, has to pick Borussia Dortmund. But he truly inside thinks Real Madrid is going to win. So we'll say another one for the good guys. Moving on. Before we get to Championship Sunday, the Premier League, let's talk a little bit about this Europa League final that's coming up next Wednesday. Atalanta, Chris Russo's favorite soccer club. Atalanta, Serie A, versus Bayer Leverkusen.
Never losing.
Nope. Bayer Pharmaceuticals. They're on top. Boys, how are we feeling about this? Ricardo and I talked a little bit about it last week, but so we'll start with Christian and Jacob. Whichever one.
I'll go first. This is over.
Yeah, all right.
Really? I'm gonna pick Atalanta? Are you kidding me?
Hey, they beat Liverpool. Sorry, Christian.
Yeah, they did.
That doesn't. I mean, I guess that counts. I mean, this is like Liverpool quitting era.
I guess that counts. What do you mean? I guess that.
I mean, Liverpool.
They at Anfield.
They quit before that. What was the game that they lost? Was that the Palace game? Was that after?
It was after. Palace came after.
Oh,
Everything fell apart for Liverpool when they lost in the FA Cup against Manchester United.
Okay, well, all right. So we'll use that as the benchmark. But post that,
whatever.
It's been kind of, I have no idea how Liverpool lost to this team. I think it should be like examined for like I can't even talk. It's like it's so pathetic. But again, I'm not picking them. You know what's gonna happen. You know the script. 1-1 going into the 85th minute, and then some stupid goal where all the fans are lighting torches on fire in the crowd, and it's gonna be all this crap. They think they're 99 Manchester United, and they're gonna win 2-1. They're gonna, go off into the sunset. I mean, come on. I mean, there's no way that's not the outcome. To me, that's what I think. It's a lock that happens.
Don't forget the
lock.
Yeah, a lock. Not a Charles Barkley guarantee, but a lock.
Guarantee.
I have a button to slam, but
don't forget Atalanta just beat your guy, the abomination, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Well, you said what his name is, so duh.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean,
wow.
They beat a French team. I mean,
now Atalanta did just lose in the Coppa Italia final against Juve. Will that affect them in a short little window here? Who knows? But maybe it'll inspire them even more. Christian, your thoughts?
So yesterday against Juve, they didn't have Scamacca, who's been a revelation for them. I mean, it's crazy how much things have changed for him in 12 months. Last year, he was a non-factor for West Ham. Now he's playing in a Europa League final as the key striker. Atalanta is a dangerous team, but this is a Leverkusen side that, I can't tell you the amount of times this season where we've texted in our chat saying, oh, they're in danger of dropping points or losing a match. And then Patrick Schick or Victor Boniface or someone comes up with a goal late in the match and all of a sudden they survive. So the problem is Atalanta's captain, De Roon, the Dutch international, got injured yesterday. And it looks like he's not only going to miss the Europa League final, he's also going to miss the Euros. So taking a leader off the field for me makes a huge difference in this match. I think it's going to be close. I think this is going to be another one where it's going to go down to the wire, like Jacob said. But I do think Leverkusen's going to win this match. I'm going to go with 3-2. I think we're getting a lot of goals. Just with the style that these two teams play, it's very attacking minded with the guys like Koopmeiners and Lookman. And then, of course, you look at Florian Wirtz and Furpong and Grimal. There's so many different attacking players who are gifted going forward. So I'm expecting a lot of goals, but I do think Leverkusen's going to get that European trophy and they're going to remain unbeaten. I have them winning 3-2.
Also, just to keep in mind, this final will be in Dublin. Dublin, Ireland. I think this is going to penalties because I feel like the Europa League final you can't have a Europa League final without penalties. This is my barometer of how to grade a Europa League final. So I'm going to say this is 2-2, and this will go to penalties, in which Leverkusen will survive and become a European champion, which they deserve after this wonderful season. And can't wait to watch them next year too. But there's rumors Florian Wirtz, Real Madrid. So keep an eye on that.
We don't need him. God.
Keep an eye. You can't have enough of everything, Ricardo.
Yes, you can. You definitely can.
How many more years Cruz got left?
He's
one.
Yeah.
Well, assuming he signs a contract, probably one.
I think he will.
Yeah. I hope so. One more year. Hopefully.
Yeah. And Modric is on his way out, probably, right? So that's
Modric's
two midfielders you could lose in a year. I know you got to have some succession plan.
We already do.
What is
Camavinga, Jude?
Yeah, Luka's already Modric is already barely playing. And then Toni Kroos is still playing at a consistent level.
Yeah.
Consistent minutes, but
I don't think you necessarily need a replacement.
They don't need. I don't know.
For someone who's going to cost that much money.
I also do think he's going to remain at the club for one more year.
I agree.
Whether he joins Real Madrid or Bayern. Before you guys go quickly, we just talked about the goalkeeper situation and how that's going to unfold for Madrid. Leverkusen's in the same situation, not because someone was injured, but they've played their backup in the Europa League the entire way. It's Kovar, the 23-year-old, and they have Herdecki, who's obviously a veteran in the Bundesliga, very experienced. I feel like you have to go to the experienced keeper. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Of course, you guys want Lunin in your situation, but do you go with the experienced keeper or the guy that's brought you here the whole way?
Well, depends on. I don't know. I'd probably go with the guy who took you there.
Yeah. I would. I'd agree. Then again, Herdecki hasn't been he hasn't had the Courtois string of injuries.
Yeah, he's been fit, so it is a little bit of a
so it's a different. Yeah,
that's not one of the world's best keepers. So
right? Yeah, totally different there. But I would still roll with the guy who brought you there.
Fair enough. I think. Just wanted to ask.
Yeah. But Ricardo, give your thoughts.
So Jacob, you said 2-1 Leverkusen.
Yep, I did.
I'm torn between two right now, but I'm picking Leverkusen too. I don't know if I'm gonna do 1-0 or I'm gonna do 3-1, and
totally different.
I feel like Leverkusen is gonna trail up until the 60th minute or something, then Schick will score.
Yeah, they
They'll
are a
score
cardiac team.
another, and then there will be like the last chance for Atalanta to get something on, and they send their goalkeeper up, and Frimpong scores a third to seal it, and that's it. The title, the champion,
There's the script.
trophies for them. Yeah, that's. I'm going to say 3-1 Leverkusen. That. I just gave you the layout of how it's going. Frimpong's going to score the counter attack goal, the empty netter, for hockey reference. But yeah,
No Kenny Albert on the call though. Scores.
Can we get a Sean McDonough?
That's
Rebound.
Skamaka. He scores.
Sounds like he's nutting. God,
Shot
that's crazy.
by Skamaka.
You know, Sean. Look at Skamaka here. He's laid out right in front of the net just for this easy tapping. I mean, the keeper isn't even looking, Sean. What's going on? That's my Ray Ferraro. Look at Shesterkin. Boys, I think that's enough Europa League. I think we covered that. But we got one last major topic, and we are on the eve of Championship Sunday. We're coming up to the end of the Premier League season. Will Manchester City?
I'm fired up.
Will Manchester City finish the story? Will they finish the story? Or will they blow it in epic fashion against West Ham? Boys.
God, I hope they finish the story. I mean, back-to-back years of Arsenal blowing the title almost makes up for Chelsea being below average 2 years in a row. I gotta say. I mean, oh my God, that would be amazing. I mean, last year they were up by 10 points? Yeah. And they said no. It was like the ship. And then it was like the ship malfunctioned, and they couldn't fix it, and they crashed. Bang. This year,
Titanic though.
This year they have all the momentum. Oh, look how great they are. They got Declan Rice. Oh, all the great players in the team of the season. But nope, you can't kill the big bad wolf. You can't do it. And just they lost to a Bayern team that literally have a coach who is in a lame duck season. They barely beat freaking Porto. They're not going to win the FA Cup. They're not going to win the Carabao Cup. That's Arsenal season right there. I mean, can you imagine if they end up with nothing for the sake? What is it? Did they win any trophies last year?
Nope.
2 years in a row, they end up with nothing. Nothing. Oh my God. Oh my God. I used to pray for times like this. It's one thing for Arsenal to be bad. When that's great. But this may be even better, where they're good and they still can't figure it out. But here's the thing that is keeping me up. What if Arsenal, I wrote this down. Let me find it. What if Man City draw and Arsenal win? If that's the case, the title would be decided on goal difference.
Arsenal wins then,
which they would.
No, but isn't it really close? I think the goal difference.
It's one goal. It doesn't matter.
Arsenal's ahead.
Arsenal wins, their goal difference is going to increase, and City would remain behind because they're already behind. I believe.
Yeah, because the goal differential for City won't change if it's a draw because they don't get a plus or a minus. So, Arsenal's one goal ahead.
Can you imagine? That would be wild too.
You would hate that.
But no, I would hate that. I hate Arsenal. I don't want them to win anything ever. I have no sympathy for their fans. I don't. I mean, I like some of their players. It's more jealousy that I wish they were. I wish they weren't playing for Arsenal rather than like
Jorginho.
Kai Havertz.
You
No,
don't
Jorginho way more than Kai Havertz.
you don't want Robbie Lyle to have a championship?
No, I don't. You know why? Because Arsenal fan TV, no one's gonna watch it anymore. It'd be boring. It'd be boring. No one's gonna watch.
I mean, everyone's watching Nick fan TV anyways now.
Well, that's
most
different.
popular fan TV.
But another thing that I want to talk about is the downfall and the collapse of the mighty Tottenham Hotspur.
I thought you were going to say Liverpool.
Remember? Well,
There's a lot of stories for Jacob here.
I mean, remember the beginning of the year when Tottenham were winning the league and everybody wanted to give them a crown because they played fun, attacking football? And remember what happened when they played Chelsea? In their home park, they imploded. They went to 9 men and they made Nicholas Jackson look like Ronaldo. He even did the freaking Ronaldo celebration.
So
stupid.
And you know what's happened since then? Not a lot of good. Not a lot of good. And just when you thought that, because everyone's like, oh, they got Ange Postecoglu, the brilliant czar, who's gonna revolutionize football, even though he's really doing nothing new. Nothing that he's doing is so like, oh my God, how could they stop it? I mean, you know what they can't stop? Set pieces. And you know who doesn't care? The coach. And just when you thought that it couldn't get any better.
Oh, this is pathetic.
Here's some quotes from the mighty press conference darling, Ange Postecoglu. In the last 48 hours, I'm saying that the foundations of this club are really fragile. Doesn't that sound familiar? Unlike another manager from a year ago. And then he loses his temper at a fan during the game. And then, oh God, it just gets better. It wasn't the usual home atmosphere, but I guess you just got to deal with that. He's already making an enemy out of the fans that sang his name. He's already turning his back on them, and he's not even done with the full season. Oh my God! Wait, there's even more.
Yeah.
Inside the club, outside the club, the last 48 hours has revealed that. Oh no, you know what? Whatever. Here it is. I've probably misread the situation as to what I think is important in your endeavor to become a winning team. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and it's awesome because in a year or two, Tottenham are going to have another new manager, and this guy's going to go boop, bye-bye. He's going to fly away. And just when you think, okay, again, if Tottenham loses to Sheffield and Chelsea win, they leapfrog Tottenham for 5th place. Now that would be the icing. If that happens and Arsenal doesn't win the league, talk about my ideal scenario. That's it right there. Because that would be amazing. I mean, you couldn't script it any better.
Well, if you're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
For me, you couldn't script it any better.
Yeah. No, I compared. I'm glad you said the last quote because that's what I was going to actually interrupt you about. Ange, he's basically pulling the Emperor Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith here. The Jedi have turned against me. It's like, what did they do? They didn't do anything bad against you. They're just chanting your name because they don't agree with a lot of things, but they're tired of your hypocrisy and your overreaction. I mean, Ange. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I actually like Ange. I prefer him over the likes of the fraud Mikel Arteta, or
Ten Hag.
Oh, don't get me started on Eric Ten Hag. Don't get me started on him. But no, I actually kind of like Ange, and I think it's the Aussie aspect. I kind of like the Aussie thing with him, but like it's downright disgraceful what he said in these comments. You can't go out, especially when your season hasn't ended yet. It's one thing to say this after the season's over. Sure, after 1 year, okay, I can maybe you're trying to angle your way out after 1 year. Sure, I guess. They have one more match. Are you kidding me? He's setting up when I hope the Spurs fans go wild. I hope the supporters go wild. Are they home?
Away.
They're away.
They're at
Come on, Sheffield.
Little tougher. But I hope the Sheffield supporters have a lot of fun with that. Because what else can they root for? So I like Ange, but that was just a rough last 48 hours for Ange Postecoglu.
It's been more than 48 hours. It's been a month.
Well, yes, but I mean those. I mean,
yes,
I'm just talking about the quotes. It's insane. Ricardo, something. I mean, storylines. What are you looking forward to this championship Sunday?
I mean, nothing really, because the inevitable is going to happen.
Yep.
City's going to win, but
Oh.
I hope it happens this way. I hope it's a repeat of like the Aguero situation, where it's like suddenly they're trailing against West Ham, they're down, and it goes to like the 89th minute or something. City ties it, and then they go and score in the 95th minute, and then we get a recreation of the Aguero call and be like a Haaland or something like
Alvarez
or like a De Bruyne or something like that. I just hope it ends dramatically, but honestly, how I see it playing out, like actually, is City probably thrashing West Ham like 3-1. So, it's just they're inevitable, man. It's crazy that I like how I'm already crowning them. I've just already accepted it.
We crowned them on Tuesday, the minute they beat Tottenham.
I've crowned them the moment Arsenal Liverpool lost. So on the same weekend, to the same day. That was pathetic. Whatever, sorry. But it's just, I don't know how they keep doing it. It just doesn't make sense. It's 4 in a row. Like has that ever happened before?
No, never. Not
United never did that with Fergie?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, I hate it, but like, fair play. They're going to do it again. So, I mean, yeah, I'm just sick of seeing the same team win it every single year. But I just hope there's some drama. Please, just, I don't know. I don't care about the 5th or 6th. I don't care about Chelsea, Spurs, and all that crap. They suck anyway. But just give me some drama. Give me like please, just give me something to look forward to.
It's still close enough where there's a little bit of drama. It's not at least
it's really not over. Like,
yeah, like at least this wasn't decided.
It's not over.
At least this wasn't decided like weeks ago or whatever.
No.
Yeah,
at
that's
least
true.
At least there's still at least some storylines.
Yeah.
Christian, and then I guess Jacob still had some Chelsea stuff, but since he just spoke, let you talk for a little bit. What are your thoughts? On the Liverpool end of things? What do you want to happen?
Last game, so
yeah.
I expect an emotional scene there. It unfortunate that it means nothing in terms of result, but I do expect us to pummel Wolves. I mean, it's a team that's more worried about abolishing VAR right now than
that another disgraceful situation. By the
that's
way,
one of the best jokes you've had in a while on this show.
Yeah, I usually get one every like 8 episodes. But, yeah, that's honestly it doesn't really mean much result wise, but in terms of the title race, which both Jacob and Ricardo have discussed, I do expect City to be in second place at live score at some point. Obviously, Liverpool has been in this situation in Championship Sunday a couple times with Man City. That last time when Aston Villa were up 2-0, Liverpool thought they were going to win the league, And all the way back, I believe it was 18-19, they played Brighton on the final day, Man City, and were also losing early. I expect the same thing. I think someone like Kudus or Jared Bowen's going to score an early goal, and we're going to see City turn it up in the second half, and Arsenal's going to be upset at the end of the night. So I do expect both teams to win. I don't think Everton or West Ham puts up a good enough fight away from home to even get a point. So, and both those teams have nothing to play for. Everton are safe. West Ham are comfortably mid-table, and David Moyes is leaving after that match. So I don't think either team puts up some crazy result on Sunday. I'm actually more interested in what happens between 5th and 6th because, again, as I've learned this today, right now Chelsea are in Conference League. There's not 2 Europa League places. The only way that turns into a Europa League spot is if Manchester City wins the FA Cup, which everyone expects to occur because Manchester United are dreadful. But Chelsea could do something crazy, which is overhaul Tottenham. And Sheffield are awful. They've lost 6 straight games. But hey, you know what? Maybe Ange is, lost focus, and Sheffield can do something crazy.
Come on, Chris Wilder.
Oh,
come on.
That's
you're
the most
a
interesting
freaking moron, but
yeah, I mean, it's an underwhelming Championship Sunday besides the title. I mean, obviously that's great and all, but I mean, you were hoping that maybe a relegation thing would be in the mix. But again, unless there's like a 12-goal change between Nottingham Forest and Luton, all 3 promoted teams are going to go down, which is a shame. But I mean, Sheffield do not deserve to be here.
No.
Burnley have been really underwhelming, and the story of Luton has been really cool, and they've been really fun to watch at home. But I would say on the whole, they probably don't deserve to stay up.
Nope.
I don't know how you guys feel about that. It's been a fun story, but
they've had too many chances to be up, and they've squandered so many of them. They don't deserve to be up. I mean, I almost wish Nottingham Forest got relegated for that stupid sideshow that they pulled about the VAR, which is such a joke. But that's not going to happen. But anyway,
I just want to see Leicester come back. I miss Leicester City.
Same.
Oh, you're gonna get them in Ipswich.
Yep. I miss
Ipswich.
Maybe if we get Leeds back in the playoff.
They took care of business today.
So they smashed Norwich.
Yep. So we'll get back 3 more relegation.
I think Leicester will be fine, but that's a conversation for another.
I would be shocked if Leicester get relegated again.
Yeah. No, I honestly, if we're talking very early relegation predictions for next season,
Ipswich is dead last.
Ipswich. I'm going Forest to get relegated.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I don't want to say Leeds, but
early shout Brentford.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. No Ivan Toney,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Unless they really bring in a solid number 9.
He's getting sacked mid-season.
He's never getting fired.
Yeah, he is.
No,
they're getting relegated.
I love him.
I don't care.
Well, the board does. I mean,
well, the board should care if they're in relegation spots.
They don't care. They just want to draw every game, lose, win in the most boring, stupid ways possible. I hate Brentford. I can't stand them.
You get Johnny
biggest
Kane
pub in London.
Over my dead body.
Wow. Need him on the pod to talk some Brentford next season again. I guess I'll go. We're playing Man U. Brighton is. My best bet kind of involves this game, so I don't want to say much. But I want to embarrass them. That's all I want to say. They're gonna. Here's the thing. They're right now. They're at 10th, and I want to stay at least 10th. I don't want to drop to 11. That's my personal battle right now with Bournemouth. So I need in that Chelsea-Bournemouth game.
Don't worry, we'll do a solid for you.
I'm keeping a big eye on that.
You didn't do it for us with Newcastle, but we'll do it for you.
Whatever, I don't care. I just need Bournemouth finished. I need those cherries picked. Okay, you got that? Okay.
Done. I
Cool.
mean,
Jacob understands the assignment.
Good.
so does Poch.
I need Brighton to stay 10th. No less.
What amazing ambition.
Hey, it was a tough year.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
AFCON, Asian Cup kind of ruined things.
Europa League.
Injuries.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
injuries.
how angry would you be if it's a 1-1 draw?
No comment. No comment. No comment.
No.
The De Zerbi special.
No comment. I mean, Jacob, real quick, go into your Chelsea bit, and then we're gonna do best bets because I think we
Okay,
can.
I won't take forever on
enough.
this, I promise. Oh, you want me to go?
Just go.
Just-
Shoot.
Okay,
Just a head nod.
Go ahead. Shoot.
I'm trying not to get too excited. I'm trying, but it's hard because you know how long I've been wanting something like this. You know how much I've bitched and moaned on this program and wanted my team to just win like a few games in a row and look like a competent team. I've wanted this the entire year. I got bits and pieces of it. I got teased a lot that they were about to turn the corner, and of course they never did. But now the tables have turned. As much as I hated losing 5-0 to Arsenal, I think that turned our season. Or that and the injury of the illustrious Enzo Fernandez. Those two things, and I'm not wishing injuries, so I'm not a bad person. Those two things have completely
The balloons just went up.
have completely galvanized this team. Ever since then, the midfield's been Cole Palmer, Conor Gallagher, who I actually like now. That's how bad Enzo Fernandez is. He makes me like Conor Gallagher, which I never thought I'd say.
I told you.
And Moises Caicedo, who actually now looks like the guy that we gave Brighton all of that money for. And I love it. You see the pass he gave?
Love it. Whoa.
You see the pass he gave
Strong
to Reece
word.
James? Did you boys see that beautiful pass he gave to Reece James, who then gave that beautiful cross to Nicholas Jackson in that game? I mean, it was such a perfect pass. I get it now. I did this too. I get it. He hasn't committed nearly as many fouls. He doesn't commit nearly as many like right around the box, which used to drive me crazy. His passing's gotten a lot better. Well, I mean, the proof's in the pudding.
He's complimenting two midfielders he wanted
Jacob.
on.
Jacob, are you worried?
By the way, Nicholas Jackson has 14 goals. He has more goals.
Whoa, hang on.
Now we're
hang on. We're talking. There's a lot of fraudulent goals.
No.
Yeah, there are.
There are a lot of fraudulent goals. Mickey Mouse goals from Nicholas Jackson.
All right, take the Tottenham game out.
11.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good for a guy who
For
has
your
terrible
striker?
finishing.
It is.
For a guy who's a terrible finisher, yeah. For a guy who costs less than Rasmus Højlund, yeah. For a guy that they got from freaking Villarreal, yeah.
Hey, they were in a Champions League semifinal 2 years ago.
I don't care, and he wasn't a part of that, so that's irrelevant to me. I don't care how many Mickey Mouse. A goal's a goal, and some people have a nose for the goal, and some people don't. And yes, his finishing at times can be infuriating and makes you want to rip my eyes out. But he still has 14 goals. And if you told me before the season started that Nicholas Jackson would have 14 goals, I would say that's a pretty good first year, personally. And yesterday, as Reece James tried so hard to ruin that game with that stupid kick, which drove me nuts. It's supposed to be a captain.
He tried to hurt my guy, Joe Pedro.
I was very upset with Reece James. And of course, he can't play in the damn last game of the season. And it has nothing to do with injuries for once, which also infuriates me. But nonetheless, you saw that terrific header by Cole Palmer yesterday. And then I got a Nkunku goal, which which is just, I mean, another guy that's been hurt so much this year. He did a little balloon celebration. I guess that was like his signature thing. I was very confused, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Left off the French Euro squad.
Okay.
By the way, as well.
Probably makes sense.
That and he's barely been healthy. So
A lot of people.
Wait, did they put Malagusto on?
Nope.
All right, Deschamps lost his mind. Malagusto is a backup, and he's better than I think half the right backs in the Premier League. I genuinely believe that. Am I wrong?
Jacob, are you worried this is a false sense of hope entering next season?
Maybe, but I just want to enjoy the wave, man.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Andrew, my team was in 12th last year.
I'm not attacking.
At one point, they were in 12th this year. And basically, what Pochettino did was he was like Batman in the Dark Knight Rises. He was in the cave. He was in that big cave. And he climbed out of the cave. And if he gets to the 6th by the end of this weekend, means he's out of the cave. The players are getting better. Marc Cucurella all of a sudden looks great. I mean, all these guys look so much better. And I swear to God, if they even think about firing him, you want to rant? You want to rant? If they get rid of him, I will lose my mind.
To be fair, you were talking about firing him, 3 months ago.
Yeah, well, I never said they should fully do it. I pondered it. I pondered it. I never fully endorsed it.
So, you're thinking about it.
But yeah, you know what? I'll leave it at that. I just want to say that Chelsea have made me very happy lately. To answer your question, I'm a little dubious of that. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I just want to enjoy this because Mauricio Pochettino inherited the freaking Titanic. And they asked him to get it back above water. That's what he had to do. And he's done that for the most part. And yes, they have broke the record for most yellow cards in a season, which drives me crazy. They have conceded more goals than any Chelsea team ever. Those two things have want to put my head through a wall. But that's what happens when you have a young team. And if the owners got that, they have no right to complain about it because they made the mess. But if they just sign, please sign older players. Please. Thiago Silva's leaving. I can't have Raheem Sterling be the oldest person on my team. Please, Todd Bowley, I beg you, sign older players. Please. You want this team to make a leap? And next year, this is the goal. Next year, they need to be hovering around 4, 5, and 6. That's the goal next year. Not hovering around 6, 7, and 8. Hovering around 4, 5, and 6. But I'm starting to get excited for the first time, like legitimately excited for the first time in a really long time. And I'll leave it at that.
That's what a summer championship does for you. Moving on.
Trophy's a trophy.
Moving on to our best bets. We have some crazy ones this week, so we'll save those for last. But first, we'll start with Jacob. Your bet.
Yeah, Fulham to beat Luton. I think I had a couple more, although I don't know if we can put them up there or not. Between it was Liverpool. Oh, okay. Well, forgive me for not understanding the rules.
Miscommunication.
But, I was just gonna leave it at this. Fulham money line against Luton Town. Luton Town, who's home?
Luton.
Oh, perfect. They'll lose. Rob Edwards will have. It'll be like Denzel Washington in Glory, with one tear down his eye, and they're gonna zoom in on it, and they're gonna be crying. Everyone's gonna be crying at the Luton game when they lose 2. When they lose 3-2, and they're up 2-0 at halftime. It'll be peak Luton ball, and
peak Luton ball.
That's how we're gonna end the season in the Premier League. That's my best bet.
All right. Go next, Ricardo.
All right. 2-legger. Athletic Bilbao to beat Sevilla, who've been awful this season. And then Atalanta.
The biggest disappointments in Europe, Sevilla, to be honest.
Yeah, they're up there. Atalanta away at Lecce So $20 to win $37.93. Feeling okay about it.
Always happy to see Atalanta. Christian.
I got 2. I'm going both MLS. We had some luck there last week, so I'm going to ride it again. Nashville, who just fired their coach. Poor timing on my end, but we're going to ride with it anyway. Nashville money line and Real Salt Lake, RSL have been awesome for those watching MLS. I believe top in Western Conference right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Nashville got a big win midweek, home again. I think they take care of business under an interim head coach. The quality's there. So that squad's got to pick it up if they really want to make something of the season. That's at plus 242, 25 to win 60-71. And then I got a second one, more of a long shot. Some of these names you'll be familiar with. Most notably Christian Benteke for those who are Premier League fans. He's having an awesome season for DC United. Arango, who plays for RSL, one of the top scorers in MLS, and of course, Sam Surge. A little of a risk there, but I'm going to pair that up with the Nashville to win.
Oh my God.
$10, only $10. So we're going to bet responsibly here. Nothing crazy. $10 to win 156.05 that's at plus 1,560. So solid value there. But
Chicho,
Andrew's got some value too.
Yeah, but before that, real quick, Chicho Arango is one of my guys, mainly because he's from my mom's hometown. He's from Medellin, Colombia. So always support my Medellin boys. All right, this is the bet of the year. 2-leg draw.
Oh my God.
Chelsea Bournemouth to draw, Brighton United to draw, plus 2,032 odds.
God.
Feed it to me all day, ready to roll. $5 to win 101.60. We're doing it.
I don't want to say it on this program.
That's why
insane.
That's why I didn't say anything when you said we're going to pummel Bournemouth. And that's why I said Brighton Man U. I'm fine with the draw.
You're fine for this reason, not actually.
I'm fine actual. I'm fine. Whatever. I need this bet to hit. Okay.
Not as much as me. But
a 1-1 draw would be the perfect ending to the Brighton season. And Chelsea to draw Bournemouth, well, it's just typical Chelsea, I think this is the highest odds we've had.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I was about to say definitely. Oh
right.
My God.
Yeah, I considered putting 20 down originally, but I figured let's be safe, just in case, and we're doing 5. All right, boys. What a great episode. Like I said earlier, we won't be back till after the Champions League final, but rest assured, we'll be talking about everything that's happened since. We'll be talking about the Prem. We'll be talking about the European Championships. We'll talk about everything.
Euro preview, yeah.
We'll definitely be previewing the Euros and Copa America for sure. Those are coming up. International footy season. Let's go. My favorite time of the year.
Never stop.
Yeah, we got Olympics too. Oh, it's a ton of football coming our way.
And preseason games in America?
No. Real Madrid, Barcelona at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
So
$200.
We got that going. All right. That was a fun episode. We'll see you in 2 weeks. But until then, take care.